Stop scrolling right now. Bill Cowher just dropped a massive take on NFL Today.
I mean, obviously, the better record belongs in Detroit, but if you have to talk about where they are right now, I just think the Dallas Cowboys, you look at that 3-game winning streak after they got off the bye, the defense has performed at another level. You sit there and talk about CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Dak Prescott. I love what Brian Schottenheimer is doing with this offense and that offensive line. This is a football team that might have the best kicker in the National Football League, an X factor in itself. So this is a football team, to me, if they get in, they are playing as good a football right now, entering into the month of December as anybody. The only thing I'll say about the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, like, they're resilient and they're down and they're tough. There's a toughness that's up there. But Dan's now calling plays, and there's a little bit of a different feel and chemistry up there in Detroit than there's been in the past. Some of the trickeration, maybe the timing has not been right. They're still trying to find their way, where I think right now the Dallas Cowboys, they not only found their way, they're in that left lane. They're coming down there very fast. And if you don't get out of their way and move over, they're going to run you over.
Yeah. I think about this, and I think the honest answer is, the hell if I know.
Yeah, for real.
That playoff picture in the NFC right now, and the number of teams that are sitting there in the hunt, in the wild card spot, and you say Dallas, yes, they're 6-5-1, but it looks like they got to win 5 in a row to get in, to have a chance. I think their best avenue to get into the playoffs is not the wild card. I think it's Philly coming back to the pack in the NFC East. But then if you look at Detroit, I really don't know if they have a chance to win the NFC North, because you have Chicago sitting at 9-3 and they've separated themselves. Green Bay sitting at 8-3 and swept them. And then they have these 2 games coming up where Detroit, is going to be playing Dallas next week.
Yeah.
Right? And so
the Rams and then the Steelers.
It is a mess in the NFC right now. But I think that's the beauty of the NFL, is that December is going to be just as exciting as January, because all of these pictures that we have at this point and how it's shaking out, with Chicago sitting at the 1 seed, we've got the Rams below them and Philly there. That's going to look different week to week. And the seeding and the structure of how all of these things shake out, I don't think we have any idea what the next 4 or 5 weeks is going to look like. If you had to ask me right now, though, who do I think has a chance of getting in? I don't think Philly's coming back. I think they're going to win, at minimum, probably 2 games, 3 games, which puts them at 11 wins. And Dallas would have to win out to get there. They've got Las Vegas, Washington twice. I think they'll probably win both those games. I think Detroit, if you ask me right now, I think Detroit maybe has the better chance of finding a way to sneak into the playoffs, even though they're not playing, in my opinion, as well as the Dallas Cowboys.
I agree with you on that. Listen, my heart says Detroit. That's coming from a completely biased place. It's my former team. I agree with you, Coach. There's something rhythmically off about their offense. Last year under Ben Johnson, he had a feel, like truly the pulse of not just his players and how he utilized the offensive weapons, but also like when and where to implement the trick plays that they were working on or that they were setting up for weeks in advance. And if they can figure out that offensively, they'll be just fine. Because defensively, they have shown in certain games to step up and rise to the occasion. Now, you mentioned the Cowboys, and they look really good. The question is, is that going to be sustainable? And how will that look in the month of December? Yeah, of course, George Pickens is turning into a 1A, 1B, 1B, 1A situation next to CeeDee Lamb. And Dak Prescott, if you aren't paying attention, is playing some of his best football in his career. But the logic tells me Cowboys, and that's because I'm looking at this big 3 that they have, but my heart says the Detroit Lions.
First, Dak Prescott and his weapons. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens turning into a legit 1A to 1B duo. Cowher's right. No one's matching that right now. Second, Brian Schottenheimer's play calling with that O-line. It's unlocking everything. Explosive, smart, no wasted snaps. Third, the defense stepping up big after the bye, plus Brandon Aubrey as maybe the league's best kicker. That's an X factor nobody's talking about enough. And that line? They're in the left lane coming fast. Move over or get run over. Chills, man. This isn't hype. It's December football and Dallas looks locked in. But here's the reality check from the panel. Nate's like, hell if I know on the playoff mess. Chicago at 9-3. Green Bay sweeping everyone. Philly maybe not collapsing. Dallas needs 5 straight wins. Probably 12 total just to sneak in as wild card. Or pray the Eagles drop more. Matt Ryan's split too. Heart with his old Lions, biased, sure, but logic screams Cowboys because of that big three. And yeah, Dan Campbell calling plays himself. The trick plays are off timing. Offense feels rhythmless compared to last year. Lions are tough but not clicking like Dallas. My hot take, Cowher's spot on. If the Cowboys beat Detroit next week, and trust me, that could be an elimination game. They're in the playoffs, and the entire NFC is sweating. No one wants to face this version of Dak in January. America's team, back and meaner than ever. What about you? Do you buy Cowher's take that Dallas is the hottest team alive right now?